all. Father, help them all. Father, help them all. Father, help them all. See your glory, not the anger they carry on their hand. So, God expects me not to speak about Bangladesh. God expects that I will not put any good word upon Bangladesh because we saw the running of the leader was final. But God is still saying we pray for the leadership of Bangladesh, that these riots are not yet quenched in the spirit. That these riots are not yet quenched in the spirit. That these riots are not yet quenched in the spirit. Father, help them all. Father, help them all. Father, help them all to know your word again. 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 Surely, I never expected a prayer for Bangladesh. Surely. But it has come that there is another move. There is another move targeting. For people are saying it's the same word. That it is the same word. That is the same word. We have not made any changes. It's the same word. We have not made any changes. Father, allow your mantle to rest upon him, so that at least pushes them for another 2 years until they get a good leader whom people think is worthy your praising. Father, we thank you. Father, we thank you. May all these good nations all over the world that are going back to a second shaking of events. The spirit is already.
The protests continue in Dhaka, the death of a youth leader of the country's 2024 pro-democracy uprising. The protesters, in fact, vandalized the partially demolished house of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and they were also seen attempting to tear down the remaining portion of the house and setting fire to a poster of the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Now, Sharif Usman Hadi, who was injured in an assassination attempt last week, died in a hospital in Singapore, and this followed a night of unrest. Several buildings in the capital, including those housing the country's 2 leading newspapers, were set on fire. Now, the first attack came on Pratham Alu, where the crowd had gone chanting slogans. The crowd vandalized the office before setting it on fire at around 12 a.m. They then vandalized the ground in the first floors of Daily Star before putting it ablaze at about 12:30 a.m. The blaze then quickly engulfed the 2 floors, sending a huge column of smoke into the air. And the fire service could not reach the building for some time because a crowd blocked their way. Now, the entire night shift fled to the roof to save their lives, pleading for help through phone calls and social media posts. And firefighters eventually reached the site and brought the fire under control at about 2 a.m. However, the journalists could not be brought out immediately because the crowd stormed the building after the fire was extinguished. The protesters also targeted the office of the Awami League, seeking the return of Sheikh Hasina. The House of India's deputy ambassador to Bangladesh was also surrounded by hundreds of people who were trying to demonstrate in a sit-in, but the police lobbed tear gas shells in a bid to disperse the crowd. In addition, the protesters also blocked a key highway leading from the capital and then attacked the residence of a former minister in Chittagong. And the protesters also attacked the Chaya Knot, which is a centre in Dhaka devoted to Bengali culture. Now, the interim government in a statement has urged citizens to resist all forms of mob violence committed by those that he referred to as fringe elements. The government has strongly condemned all acts of violence, intimidation, arson and destruction of properties, pointing out that this was a critical moment in the country's history. With elections planned, the interim government under Muhammad Yunus, in a message to the citizens, has said, and I quote, "We cannot and must not allow it to be derailed by those that thrive on chaos and reject peace."